Hey, what's up? Serpentine19 here, taking a look at the turn-based strategy card game Conquest of Champions, developed by Kihon games, who have mainly been focused on mobile games up until now. Conquest of Champions bases its gameplay around a chess-like arena where each player takes turn controlling their units with the aim to destroy their opponent's obelisks as well as their hero character. You start out the game with only a hero character and a set amount of mines in which you earn resources each round to buy additional units, upgrades and spells. Your selection of units, upgrades and spells come from a deck of cards that you construct outside of the main gameplay. Each round you draw a new card, and depending on the cost of the card and the amount of resources you have mined, you can play it. If it's a character card, there are spawn points on your side of the field as well as strategic capture spawn points in the middle of the map. If it's an upgrade, which can be a mine upgrade for more resources each turn, or a weapon upgrade to buff a character, you can simply drag and drop it on top of a selected unit. For the spell cards, it's pretty much the same, as it can affect characters and structures. The majority of the units in the game will have some sort of ability, whether it be a passive or an activatable. These range from a unit hitting twice in one turn, a unit healing all other friendly units for the damage it deals to an enemy unit, and gaining extra armor and attack from every active mine on the battlefield. While this can be a lot to take in for new players, after the first couple of games you begin to learn different units' abilities and are able to start using them effectively. Once you get into the later stages of the game, you'll have to start paying attention to your action points, which are quite obviously points you take actions with, such as moving a unit, attacking with a unit, or using a unit's activatable ability. In the later stages of the game, you may also be lacking cards to play. Luckily, you can spend resources to both draw an extra card, as well as to gain 3 more action points for that round. Conquest of Champions consists of 3 unique class-based decks: Stonehold, which consists of dwarves and constructs, Briarwood, which consists of elves, beasts and treefolk, and finally the Ember Cult, consisting of demons and the undead. While you do get your first deck for free, each additional deck will cost quite a bit of in-game gold, or alternatively purchased with premium gems. Each deck type has 3 main hero characters that you can choose from, although not for your first deck, as this is chosen for you. The hero cards generally have the same stats, the only big difference being their activatable spell. The aesthetic of the game is a highly stylistic 2D one that comes with great animations and textures. Games play out in a slightly wrapped environment where you can scroll up and down the battlefield to get better vantage points, and provides something pleasing to look at if your opponent decides to use the timer to its fullest. One thing I would like to see improved is visual notifications on buffed units. While the weapon in hand does change, I'd also like to see a particle effect surrounding them, or a glow to make it easy to keep track of units, as the playing field can get congested. The sounds in game are good, with easily distinguishable sound effects for different unit attacks, spells, and when a unit is buffed. The background music in the game matches the battlefield you are currently playing on, with the main theme of the game being rather catchy, finding myself humming or whistling along to it. 2 main game modes are available to play, however they don't actually change the mechanics of the game, rather the time limit of your turns. Extended match has you and your opponent taking up to 3 days to log in and take turns, while quick match has you playing in real time with 2-minute turns each. Single player game modes are available but are restricted to the tutorial, which is completed after starting the game for the first time, and a practice mode. As for the features outside of the main gameplay, there are 2 extra deck construction options available. Crafting allows you to craft new and powerful cards out of crafting elements gained while playing the game, or through unlocks. A lot of the more powerful craftable cards are locked behind level requirements for what I guess is a way for players to understand the game before using all your craftable items. Fusion is the second construction option, where you can increase a card's experience level by fusing it with other cards. This is generally only used when you have more than 2 of a certain card, as you can only have 2 of each card in your deck. When a card levels up, it gains a small boost to its overall stats. Apart from the deck construction features, there is leaderboards to see how you rank up against other players, and each multiplayer match is counted towards that ranking. Conquest of Champions is a strong recommendation for people that want a tactical turn-based strategy game that they can play in both 30-minute bursts or casually with games lasting multiple days. While the units in the decks are pretty predictable at the moment, the game is open to expansions and will provide the game with replayability as well as some well-needed variation. Conquest of Champions is currently in open beta, downloadable from their official site or Steam. The game does have plans to release on tablets in the future, featuring full cross-platform play. That's been my player preview. Let me know what you think of the game in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.